I have a story. So it was when I was in a client conversation. I'm not going to mention their name. They're between 20 to 30 million subscribers. And when we were discussing day rates, so we had a conversation part where we're talking about prices, they basically asked like, hey, how much do you charge per day? Like, what's your day rate? At the time, I've never charged a day rate, so I thought of the biggest number I could. I said £275 because they're a UK-based creator. £275, I'm expecting a hard no. They respond back and they say, hey, we actually do a minimum 300 for juniors, so let's start with that. All my life, I've been used to people hearing my price and either completely ghosting or saying no. And now when I'm working with this huge channel, 20 million plus subscribers, they're now saying, oh no, the minimum we charge is higher than your price. We're going to pay you that at least. I ended up doubling that later down the road, but my point is that these big creators, they want to pay more. In fact, after you get past like the small creators, what actually happens is there is a inherent value with people actually paying you something. For example, like let's say you had no budget and you wanted the best gaming mouse possible. If a company came to you and said, hey, we have the best gaming mouse possible, it's $15, you'd question it. In fact, if there was a gaming mouse that was 150, 200, 250, 400, you'd probably like that more because you actually went into the market looking for a good mouse. In the same way, these million plus subscriber clients, they're going into the market looking for a good editor. So when you stroll up and you're like, hey, I charge $250 a video, they've got their guard up because now they're like, okay, he's charging only $250. There's got to be something wrong. Like, why is he only charging that much? So price like they're actually expecting you to, and I know it might be scary because it's like, what if they say no? But the thing is, you're going to get a no anyways. In fact, if you're charging anything less than like $500 a video, you know this. Even when you charge super low, you still get ignored. So like you're going to get ignored either way in most cases. So for the few yeses that you do get, you might as well make them actually worth it. How do you know whether you're doing it correctly or not? You need to know your outreach data. By the way, if you go in the description, there's a free outreach tracker. All it does is it basically allows you to track every single outreach you do and automatically let you know like, hey, here's your metrics, here's what you need to work on, here's who to follow up on, things like that. Just go in the description, it's completely free. It'll just ask you for your email and then it'll send it to you there automatically. So by knowing all your metrics, you'll figure out like, okay, when I send this many messages, this is how many clients I get out the other end. All I need to do is get 3 clients, so I'm going to send this many messages, and if those are at a certain price, I hit my income goals. By you reverse engineering the maths, and you send the outreach, you hit your income goals so much easier, but you need to be able to actually price that high, because otherwise you're never going to hit it. And lastly, got my notes here. When things are going well, you press harder on the gas. I see it again and again, both guys who are applying to join the editing layer, but also just the editors that I coach, where they find themselves stuck for genuinely months. On the outside, they're doing everything right. They're sending outreach, they're posting, they're closing clients, and they're editing videos and their work looks great. But they find themselves stuck sort of at like 2, 3-ish, 4K a month. The thing is, when things are going well, that is not a sign that you should stop doing the inputs. Editors have this weird cycle, and you've probably experienced it for yourself if you've been in the game for a while, where everyone starts from zero, that's fine. You start getting your first few clients because you outreached. You stop outreaching because you feel like you don't need to anymore. A couple of months later, you lose a client because client churn, that's a normal thing. So you start outreaching again because you need clients, and then a few weeks later you get clients, so your income goes back up, and you're just in this cycle of it going up and down. The reason your income is inconsistent is because your inputs are inconsistent. In fact, the very way that you get more consistency in your income and you are able to raise prices without that fear of rejection is by keeping those inputs up of outreach and posting even when you're full on work. And you might be asking, but what happens if I have more work than I can handle? It's simple. You just say a ridiculously high price. If they say no, it's fine, you were already booked. If they say yes, congratulations, you've just got your new highest paid client, and you can try raising the other person, so your current client, by a huge amount. If they say no, no worries, you have this other high paying client. If they say yes, awesome, you just got another really high paying client, and you do it to the other guy. So it's like, and when I say like raising your price, I don't mean by like pussy amounts, I mean genuinely like big raises. For example, I did this recently, where it was a $550 client. Instead of me going from like 550 to 600, it's like, why don't we go from 550 to 1.5k? Because that's a number that actually means something. Like if I get paid $50 more, if an editor gets paid $50 more for a video, that doesn't change anything. Just if you felt underpaid at 500, you're gonna feel underpaid at 550. If you felt underpaid at 550, you're gonna feel underpaid at 600. If you felt underpaid at 500, you're probably gonna feel fine at 1,500. So by taking these like literal like multiples rather than like incrementals, that's what's going to help when it comes to actually raising prices. But in order to raise prices with confidence, it's really important that you have that consistent client flow, getting into those client conversations, because otherwise you're going to constantly have that fear of, hey, I can't raise my price because what if the guy says no? If you're a freelance video editor and you want to get more clients, I've got something for you. It's a completely free outreach tracker. It's the same one we use with all our coaching students, and it's going to allow you to be able to send more messages to potential clients, get more replies, and also be able to close them at higher rates. So go get that free tracker in the description. After you signed up for it, I'm going to send it straight to your email. I'm going to give you a bit more information on how I personally help video editors. So if you do want to get more help, you can apply there. But whether you get my further help or not, just go and get the free tracker for now, because at least you're going to be able to run this on your own for a while.